This is the 2020 Lockout Tagout Line Break Supervisor Lock Shift Change Appendix E training. What we want to learn in this training today is the purpose of the service lock procedure, importance of maintaining control of hazardous energy, procedure of supervisor lock, and the shift changeover form. Per the policy, Kevin is still using the two locks that we have discussed in earlier trainings. Blue locks are only to be used by maintenance and indicate long-term out of service, whereas red locks indicate a live lockout tagout situation. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and Kevin no longer having overlapping shifts, we have now instituted green locks, and those indicate supervisor locks. They also will need to be accompanied by out of service tags. These locks are only to be used when shifts do not overlap. Once shifts commence as normal, standard shift change procedure will be followed. No lockout tagout work shall be done with supervisor's locks in place. Now we will discuss shift change supervisor lock sequence of events. If the machine is locked out by the operator using the standard process and it is determined that the work cannot be completed by the end of the shift, the operator will then need to contact the on-shift supervisor, informing them that they will be unable to complete the work during the shift. The on-shift supervisor then applies a supervisor lock, also known as a green lock, and an out-of-service tag on all energy isolating devices. The operators can then remove their personal locks and tags. The on-shift supervisor then needs to secure the key for the supervisor lock. The on-shift supervisor must then communicate to the oncoming shift supervisor what and why the equipment is locked out and what work needs to be completed. This information is documented in Appendix F, which we will go over next. Appendix F is the form that needs to be used when any employee uses the supervisor lock. On this form, you will need to fill out the date, the employee that locked out the equipment, the name of the equipment locked out, and why the equipment was locked out. The on-shift supervisor that is going to apply the lock needs to put their name down, and then write how communication was made to the oncoming shift supervisor. The oncoming shift supervisor needs to put their name on the list, and then both supervisors need to have signed the list. The oncoming shift supervisor needs to complete Appendix F, as we discussed before, needs to secure the supervisor lock key, communicate with all operators as to what work has been done and what needs to be completed. All operators that will complete the lockout tagout work apply their own locks and tags to the energy sources that are secured by the supervisor lock. After all workers' lockout tagout locks are applied with tags, the supervisor can then remove the supervisor lock. The workers need to verify that the lockout tagout was successful by trying to start the equipment, and all remaining lockout tagout work shall be completed as required in SOP 19003 Lockout Tagout and Line Break.